If you're trying to talk to everyone, you'll connect to no one. And that's why most podcasts die within 10 episodes. Not because the host isn't smart, not because the content isn't interesting, but because the audience is undefined. Stick around today because I'm going to show you how successful podcasts find their people and why clarity beats charisma every single time.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Business Minutes Influence.
All right, welcome back to the show. If you have been dreaming about launching a podcast, or maybe you've already started one, this video is for you. By the end, you'll know the number one mistake new podcasters make, how to avoid it, and the exact steps to define your audience so your show actually begins to grow. All right, well, talking to everyone fails. I want you to think about walking into a crowded room and shouting, "Hey everybody!" Sure, people might glance at you, but nobody feels like you're actually talking to them. And that's exactly what happens when you launch a podcast without a clear audience. Now, successful podcasters, they don't just speak, they aim, and they know exactly who is on the other side of the mic. I want you to ask yourself this: would you rather have 100 people who binge every single episode, or 10,000 people who listen once and never come back? Drop your answer in the comment below. I'd love to see where you land on that. I want to talk to you about the power of a listener avatar. Now, here's the secret weapon. Create a listener avatar. That is a fancy way of saying know exactly who it is that you're talking to. Give them a name, give them a job, give them a struggle, give them a favorite coffee order. Just whatever you do, just make them real. Now, for example, instead of business owners, maybe your show speaks to full-time entrepreneurs juggling side hustles while raising kids. That's the level of detail that changes everything. Now, when you plan your episode, you're not just guessing anymore. You're having coffee with them. The tired hustler who needs encouragement and real tools to keep on going. Okay? And once you start doing this, something magical is going to begin to happen. People will start saying, "I felt like you were talking directly to me." And let me tell you something, that stories stick. Here's where a lot of new hosts mess up. They drop too many stats, too many facts, but listeners connect to stories. I want you to think about your favorite podcast. I bet you don't remember the numbers that they shared, but you remember the stories that maybe made you laugh or brought emotion or caused agreement. So here's the retention hack. Always tie your point back to a real person's story. If your audience is young entrepreneurs, don't just say 80% of startups fail. Tell the story of Jake, who almost quit but pivoted and found success. You see, that's sticky, and that's something that somebody is going to remember. You see, facts tell, but stories sell. Now, narrow feels kind of risky, but it's where the power is. Now, you might be thinking, but if I narrow down my audience, I'll lose listeners. And actually, the opposite begins to happen, and that is the more specific you get, the more you stand out. It's like this. If you needed heart surgery, would you rather go to a general doctor or would you want to go to a heart specialist? You see, your podcast is the same. Specialists win. Niche shows create loyal listeners who feel like finally somebody gets me. Now, quick question. What's the niche that you're aiming for? Comment below and I'll jump in and I'll give you some feedback on your niche, okay? Now, for example, it could be teachers who travel, faith and fitness moms, startups in small towns. It's very easy to begin to niche down. The next point that I want to bring up is that clarity creates growth. When you know your audience, everything gets easier. Your episode ideas begin to flow, your marketing actually lands, and most importantly, your listeners feel seen and heard. And here's the best part. Once you lock in your audience, growth isn't about trying harder, it's about serving deeper. So let's bring this home. Podcasts fail when they try to speak to everyone. They succeed when they know exactly who they are serving. Define your listener avatar well. Tell stories and not just stats. And remember, narrowing your focus isn't going to lose you listeners, it's going to gain you loyalty. Man, if this has helped you, make sure that you hit that like button. It tells YouTube this is a podcast worth listening to and worth sharing. Thank you for commenting and participating along. Remember to subscribe because I'm going to deliver to you more inspiration just like this. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome